This is the Tony Doe Podcast.
Hello again and welcome to the Tony Doe Podcast, where I get to have conversations with people in the radio space, sharing their radio stories. Let's get to meet my guest.
Yes, Daddy Swag is a content creator, broadcast entrepreneur, and a pigeon guru. More so, I'm a consultant, media consultant.
Daddy Swag, why radio?
Why radio? Wow. It's simple for me. Radio for me is, I love to teach. First off, I love to teach. As a teacher, you need a classroom, you need a board, and I don't like the conventional way of teaching. So for me, radio is just the best medium to have everybody in the classroom, and, convey your message. Radio is just the best platform. Remember, when you're on air, you're cautious of what you're saying. When you're air, there's a guideline. When you're air, there's a rule, an exception to what you can say. When you're air, you have to be accurate. When you're air, you must be sure of what you're saying. When you are on air, you know at the back of your mind that every mistake you make will cost you your reputation. Therefore, you can't afford to make any mistake. So for me, the radio is just the best medium. And radio is one classroom that mistakes is zero tolerance for mistakes. So for me, I think radio is just the best platform for me to teach. Like I said, I don't like the conventional way of teaching. So radio for me is just that creative form for teaching.
So how did you get into radio?
Okay. It's a long story, but I'll cut it short. I did not stumble on broadcasting. I like to clear that fact. I didn't get into broadcasting because I graduated and there's no job. No. It's a planned and properly planned life, I've been a radio person since my youth, or my childish age, since I was a child. I've loved radio. I've always loved radio. The amount of radio I bought with my money as a child, trust me, some adults never buy half, And it's not because I like Palito radio or I like cassette then. It's because I love to hear people talk on radio. And some of the words I learned today, and some of the words I know today, I learned them on radio. There was this program then, Speak Well. It was on OGBC too then. That program got my attention. Then somebody also introduced me to Speak Out on NTA then. And, the story is never ending for me. More so, I fell in love with radio because if I'm not reading, the only thing I'm doing again is listening to music, hearing, listening to presenters talk. Sometimes I feel we're in the same room, that conversation. I just want to be a part of that conversation. And the fact that I also have an opinion and I also want to ask people questions. I also want to let people know that, okay, I know this thing. This other person talked about it in this manner. I should talk about it in this manner because this is how I saw it, It drove me into, I need to get on radio. So I'll correct some things that I've heard and tell some people some things that I also know. So my journey into radio, I'll say, now hungry for, I won't make you hear me. I won't make you know, say this thing, now so it be. It's the hunger to teach that drove me into radio broadcasting.
Who have been your biggest influences on your radio journey?
Some know me, some don't know me. But my biggest influence, I know lie to you, na Femi Showolu Morning Ride. Every time in school back then, I go wait listening to Morning Ride before I go class. Yes, it's that bad. Yes, I'll listen to Morning Ride. Now, let me tell you a short story. You see, back then in school, Ogun State University, there's this mango tree at the back of our compound, The mango tree is so big that 12 men, grown men, will sit on that tree comfortably and nothing will happen. The tree is so strong, big. So at a point, we made that tree a part of our house. We sit out there, gist, it's so open, it's fine. I discovered that I took my radio there one day and I picked up rhythm, I picked up Ray Power, away from the Paramount FM we used to listen to back then in school. So that's how I got to start listening to Femi again. Because I was listening to Femi back in Lagos. So Femi, Nadia, those people, God damn, they really messed with my mind. I know few day without listening to them. Then there's this night show, Phoenix. Yes, I think Normalos, late Normalos, his wife, Phoenix. That auntie bust my head. Yeah, on reading too, and today. And Tony, you way to talk too, Tony, at a point, I wanted to sound like you. Yeah, until you talked about originality one day on radio, like you were talking to me. Yeah, you did. You were talking about originality on radio one day. I think it was you, DJ Slam, somebody. It was a famous DJ. You and somebody. Yes, it was Radio Continental then. And you people talked about originality and carving your own niche for yourself. That was the day I told myself, I will never fake my accent. I will never fake my personality. I'll be me. If you don't like me, well, well, behold, I'm me. And this is who I am. I'm Daddy Swag.
Talk me through your radio journey. Highs, lows, in-betweens.
My radio journey last Tony Doe, there's nothing you don't know now. It all started from Radio Continental back to Echo FM as boy, no pay, coming to understudy some persons with the strict broadcast rule back then, not now again. You have to understudy somebody, more like you're an apprentice, you serve the person. If you're not careful, you start sounding like the person, And back then it was Charles Anozodo, Frank Edoho, for me every morning, listening to them, going to buy food for them. Then when I moved to Echo FM, yeah, because I actually started my radio journey at Metro FM. Yes, Ikoyi. That was where I did my IT after training school. So I moved on to Echo FM, where I anchored the show, the light show, Leadership Yesterday, Today, and Tomorrow, under Ajose. It wasn't funny at all. It wasn't funny. But all the training and all the rigorous training, paid off eventually, because today I sit back and I look at some broadcasters and how they started their journey and who they are today. I tell myself, son, you've done well for yourself. Yes, nobody can see you and say you don't know the do's and don'ts of broadcasting, except he or she just wants to be a hater. You understand? So for me, I think all those rigorous training and hard style of broadcast, training, actually shaped me and made me a better broadcaster, because you can't catch me on air talking about something I don't know, something that is not important, and something that I know is already leaked at the internet. No, I make sure I believe in search, report, and report. You don't just, get a third-hand information and put it out there. Do your own background findings. I came into broadcasting the era where you need to find the information. You don't need to rely on a certain portal to get informed. I grew up in the era where broadcasting is key. It's not something where the ethics of broadcasting is very important. You don't stumble on it. You don't stumble on it. It is either you're in it or you're out. If you don't know it, you don't know it.
Let's talk about show prep. How do you get into your creative space?
I still stick to scripting, research, show prepping. I'm not the type of broadcaster who goes on air with my phone or assuming to get information on air, because that's what most presenters do these days. They wake up, of course, they get their phones, they see what's trendy, what's on their dailies. They pick a topic without proper background research, And when they come on air, they expect callers to just come up and talk. No in-depth analysis, no in-depth research, no in-depth knowledge of the particular topic they're talking about. No. I'm still that broadcaster who writes with my pen and my paper before I go on air. I'm still that broadcaster who makes a few calls before I go on air. I'm still that presenter who, if I am not sure of the source of the information, I don't say it. I don't talk about it. I skip it, and that's how I've been. And that's what's keeping me different from the today kind of radio broadcaster. Yeah.
Programs or news desk, and why?
I do both. I started with news. There's something about news and programs, yeah? If you understand news, when I mean news, get the information, tell the story the way it is, make sure they understand it, no ambiguous words, because you're trying to cater for everybody. Understand the human side of the news and relating with the people so they understand actually what you're trying to tell them. Now, bringing it to programming, you will now know how to shape or carve the show to suit the particular audience you're trying to capture. I don't know if you understand what I mean. News and programs. If you understand news and programs, honestly, you have a very big edge. There is no time you come on air that you don't hit jackpot. Trust me. Because as a news person, you already understand that the story must be accurate. The story must be a very, very verified story. Do you understand? Now, as a program person, this is where programming comes in. For every topic you're talking about, the music that suits the program, the topic, that time, the aura of that show is selected. Your speech band is measured. The calling, the phone-in, time is measured. To hit the point on the head is set, measured at the same time. There is no way you come off on air and don't hit jackpot if you understand news and programming. I think you should have a bit of both of them. Yes.
Do you prefer management to just being on air, just being an on-air talent?
Management or just being a talent? I once said I don't want to get into a managerial position, but I found myself, in one of these managerial position because not because I've been on air long enough, but because there is no way you would understand programming, news, and don't get to manage people. So if you ask me, I'll say do a bit of both. Now, before I thought say, I beg, I know one problem. There is problem every day. Problem not the finish. For me, management, because I don't think I like talking on air anymore though, but I think I like putting people through, make them understand the reason why they should come on air and hit jackpot. When I talk about hitting jackpot, mind you, hitting jackpot is doing a show and within you know that truly I don't touch one or two person, today with my show.
What do you think about podcasts?
Podcast is the new life of radio. Yes, podcast is podcast is the future of radio, because the reason why it's like podcast is epileptic in Nigeria is because of availability of internet. Honestly, there are more creative content on podcast these days, raw but creative on podcast these days than on the radio, because all these they are stifling and choking and killing. My brother, podcasts get value. Podcasts are the future of radio. That's what I know.
Where are we with podcasts in Nigeria now? You've already mentioned the fact that data might be a problem, but where do you think we can be in the nearest future?
The moment we get cheap data, podcasts go blow beyond recognition for Nigeria. Like I said, Nigerians are information hungry people. If there's anything a typical Nigeria likes is information. Forget entertainment. We are entertainment on our own. Every Nigerian know how to entertain his or herself. But you see, that's information. Trust me, I've been in the game long enough to know that the moment you turn on your radio and say you want to read news and they know you always come with genuine story, proven, people will always tune to you. So Nigerians are information-driven people. Podcasts will blow beyond recognition if we get affordable data.
In light of recent events, how you take see the work where NBC they do?
Honestly, Tony, as a civil service, you say they are trying to do their job, but what is their job exactly? Gag the media? No, it's to regulate the media. You're not supposed to come on air, or you're not supposed to come on radio or TV and lie all through. You're not supposed to tell a lie. You're not supposed to, misinform people. So you need that regulation. But also, in as much as you're not supposed to misinform people, you are also not supposed to hoard information. Yes, the NBC forgets that, and it hurts. It hurts so much. But what can we do? Broadcasters, our hands are tied. They are the regulatory body, so we just have to play along. But I'm saying, speaking for self now, jail, it don't make sense at all. It don't make sense at all. They are trying to make the media, they say we are the seventh realm of the estate. I what did they call us? Right now, I'm not sure say we get anything, no gate, we're not there among that people again, because NBC now don't imagine them banning Twitter and NBC condescending to it. No, bro, I don't even want to talk about them, but they don't feel bone, forget.
Okay, away from a dour topic, let's talk about something light. What's been your favorite radio experience so far?
Yeah, my favorite radio experience. Now, let me give you a story. This happened in Asaba. Yeah. I got into town very late from Lagos. Very, very late. I think around 10. Yes, around 10. I got into Asaba around 10. So I wanted to pay for a hotel room where I can pass the night and, get back to Onitsha during my Wazobia days, I got to the park. No taxi. Na keke na full there. And the street where my hotel day, keke no they enter there, bike no they enter there. And around that Miriam Babangida way for Asabada year. The guy just heard my voice and I said, you don't be you. I think I got off the phone with Ugo. I said, man, I did Asaba, you don't be you. I don't know the kind of boss why I enter today. The guy heard my voice. I was like, that is swag, right? Muna consider the swag, Muna consider the swag. That is swag of Wazobia if I want to talk Uzo talk truth. That was how I had 10 keke followed me to the hotel. 10 keke empty, 10 followed me, spoke to the gate men, and they followed me to the hotel. I almost cried. I didn't know I touched life to that extent. Yeah, I almost cried, honestly.
Hey, yeah. Guests, Uncle, who's been your favorite?
My favorite radio guest, yes, you won't believe, Zorro. Yes, Zorro almost made me cry, because when he talked about his life story, how he became who he is and what made him who he is, I could relate, because, coming where roses that grew on a concrete surface. So I could relate. And when he saw that I could relate, he opened up the more and told me, bro, easy. A lot of parents they say because we don't did here, it's easy for us. No, easy for me. But look at me today. Zoro. I think another person who really wowed me was Ilbliss, talking about when he dropped that song. They don't really care, it wasn't funny, his experience and all that, but I had fun. Then another person that I interviewed that really, got me laughing was Chris Ngige. Yeah, Dr. Chris Ngige, the former Anambra State governor. Yeah.
Well, yeah, let's cast some people or somebody. Who's been your worst radio guest, or who have been your worst radio guests?
My worst radio guests. Can we not just talk about it, Biko? Yes, I don't want to bash any government official. Yeah, he's a government official. Lied all through the show, and after the show called me and begged me and said, I know say they go say I lie, but please just try cover my God. No. I beg, mono talk about him.
Am I not surprised? Government official. beg, wait. I got that myself. Okay. Let's talk about music now. Top 5 artists on your playlist right now.
Oxlade or Juju. That song, I don't know. It's a new song, but I don't know how he did it. Then another one, Cavemen. Everything Cavemen sang, A to Z. Yes, everything they sang. Then another one, that's my number 3 song now, is Udo, Airwaves, featuring, I think Peruzzi on that song. Udo, yeah. That song, the boss, my bololo. Then another song where they kill me now, right now, so like Vector and Shei, Ellie Momo, bad jam for there. And my number 4 song, yes, what's with this guy anymore? One of the Mavens, yes, one of the Mavens. I'm not a fan of, singing without content, but I think I like the rhythm. Ruga is doing well too. I love that song. Bounce, yes, I love that song.
Let's play a what if scenario. If the circumstances were different, what would you do instead of radio?
Not hard now. I'll go back into my business administration now. I read biz admin. I also did a course in industrial and labor relations. I'll go back into being an HR, or administrate business or do a business administratively, period.
If I ask your favorite food now, you could say,
my favorite meal. Do I have a favorite meal? I be any personal favorite meal. He day, no deal.
Okay, not surprised. Favorite drink, uncle?
A tiger. Yeah, tiger. My favorite drink, tiger beer. Yeah, tiger beer. And if you know day, then Guinness, this new Guinness Gold. I did the column. Yeah, it makes a lot different.
What legacy does Daddy Swag want to leave behind?
I want to leave a legacy that my name will always make you sit up and think. My name will always make you understand that radio is a tool to change life positively. Radio is a tool, to bring positive change to the society. That's the kind of legacy I want to leave, Now, don't forget, radio is also a medium to create life. I know people will be like, waiting, they talk. Some people don't even get that life. They just get empty cum. But listening to radio actually taught them a lot. Radio don't create life inside them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time and insights. My guest has been Daddy Swag. If you enjoyed the podcast, do me a favor and tell somebody about it. Let them check it out as well. Also, if you'd like to support us, the links are in the show notes on how you can do that. Thank you for listening.